Greetings, everyone. This is Pastor Chris Wilson from St. Andrew Christian Church, and here to talk about our ongoing Lent series that started last week. Have a unique series called Lent with Lasso, and yes, that is Ted Lasso. We started that this past Sunday, and we talked about in the series with Lent with Lasso is the uncovering gifts for life. And this past week, we looked at the gift of belief. And this week, we will look at the gift of shared leadership. One of the things that Ted Lasso does throughout the entire 3 seasons of that series is the way he models himself in terms of a leader with and for other people. The scripture passage we'll look at is probably maybe an unusual one. It's from the book of Romans. It's chapter 16. It's the first 16 verses of the 16th chapter in Romans. And in most cases, when there's letters, there's always an opening greeting and a closing kind of send-off in the letter. And Romans has an extended, longer send-off than some of the other letters. And one of the unique parts about the end of the letter of Romans is the greetings that he encourages people to make with other people. The actual names that he lifts up is almost 30 names, which is very unusual in his letters. I mean, those are a large number of names, with a recognition that Paul is not doing this work by himself. Paul is doing this amongst a community of people, and the greetings that the church is supposed to offer to all these people, these are all kind of people that they would have known by name. He calls them by name because they will know them. And Paul realizes that his work in the church is a combination of lots of people doing lots of things at the same time for the same common goal and purpose of sharing God's love in the world, and doing that by sharing the message and life of Jesus with those around them. Ted Lasso does a very similar thing. He recognizes the value of people around him, regardless of where they fit in the structure of his life and in the work he does with the football team in Richmond. He finds ways to incorporate so many different people into the process of leadership so that everyone is a part of the end result. They all are vested in the process. And so I hope you'll join us on Sunday as we continue this fun series of Lent with Lasso, as we uncover the gift of shared leadership and we unpack maybe a little bit of some of the modeling Paul did, some of the modeling that Ted Lasso does, and maybe how some of that might fall into our own laps of how we can capture that same gift of sharing leadership to do the work we're called to do. Hope you'll join us on Sunday.